A big thanks to Whitewall for sponsoring this week's video.
In this video, I finished the coolest hidden door with a built-in acrylic photo, try and make some cupboards, struggle with cuts again, and carpet and finish the bulkhead at last.
Right, so it's in now, it's still not fixed in place. I spent ages and ages yesterday cutting these panels out and getting them to fit right, which look really good from the other side. That looks fantastic, and the door works perfectly. So I've got to cloth the other side of this door. I've got to wait for my print, which at the end of the video, by the time this video goes out, I'll have the print and you'll see it on here. So you'll see the image that I've chosen to go on this panel, and I'll be able to put that on there. I've got to put the insulation in, but more excitingly, down here, there is room for some things to be stored. There's quite a lot of space. And I was looking at it and I thought, actually, under here, there's a gap and I could get things in this gap. I can store things. A tripod. So this wasn't planned, but I then made this box, which is gonna go in here, like that. I got it right first time. And there's gonna be a door here. And then I thought I might as well use all this space up. So I'm gonna build another little sort of cupboard hole here, and then a cupboard with a shelf here that's gonna have a slope back. And so I'll have a door here and a door here, and that should look really good, I think. I think it'll work really, really well. And then at the bottom here, I think I've got enough room for just a small drawer. I wanna use all the space possible in the van.
In an unusual turn of events for me, I measured well more than once in the hope for only one cut.
What I measured there, right, I need to chop about a centimetre off this length, and then, yeah, and then a bit off the height as well. Do that.
So I went back to measure and cut up the wood again. How hard could it be to make some wooden boxes?
I don't actually know how that's possible. I think it must, this must be a bit of the board that we haven't cut, that's just come from the factory, because it's not straight. There's no way that I can cut something like that. All my cuts are super straight. Yeah. What? Right, I'm gonna have to cut that straight. So now it's going to get even smaller. I did cut that, didn't I?
All my cuts are super straight.
But how's that happened? I don't understand how I've done that. But that can't, that can't. Jeez. It's getting smaller, this, my cupboard, but it's still fine. Unless this isn't straight for some reason. No, it has to, it goes on this. Can't bend, can it? Oh, no, this just doesn't make any sense. I'm flabbergasted. I need to think of a way of straightening this edge, and it's not actually as easy as you think. That'd be the best way of doing it, but that's risky. I just make things complicated, don't I? But I could have recut this by the time I've worked out how to do it. Right, I'm going to do this again. It's got to be the way. Right. Now I've cut some off that, I need to change this. Oh, actually, I was just going to put it in my saw one. That's what I was doing it. It's near enough. Still not right. Why are you not cutting it straight? It's a lot better though. Glasses. Always wear safety glasses, kids. Very important, especially when you're a photographer, as everybody pointed out in the comments, correctly. I might add. Right, let's see if this does a better job. I've changed all the dimensions. I just need to measure it. 23.5 by the width of that, which is 43.1. 23.5 by 43.1. Write that down somewhere. Right, we're going to have a new section in the Campervan videos called Tool Time, where I'm going to talk a bit about one of my tools. This is the track saw. The track saw is super cool. So it's just basically a circular saw, but on a track. And it means it makes it much easier to cut straight lines, as I just proved. But no, it is a really good way of cutting straight lines, especially if you don't have a table saw. But even cutting something like this is tricky on a table saw because you don't want to cut a thin width where this is against the fence on a table saw because it can twist a little bit. So a track saw is really good for this. And if you don't have a track saw, there is another way around it. And what I recommend is you just get like a straight edge and you just clamp it down like that. And then you can run your circular saw just along it to get a straight edge as well. But a track saw just makes it easier. And it's also got like rubber bits on the bottom of it to stop it sort of moving when it's on the wood. So really good, definitely recommend it. And I'm gonna try it now. So, that's not straight. Oh, that's just not even close to being straight. Have I got the wrong bit of wood here? No. Why is all this wrong? It should be perfect. When I say straight, square is what I mean. Yeah, look how far off that is off square. Right, so now, just need to do that bit, don't I? Should we check it fits?
That's probably a good idea.
Then I can carry it out like... No, is the answer to that question.
I went to check all of the pieces that I'd finally cut actually fitted in the space. After many attempts at getting the panels in the right combination, I decided it was time to put the box together.
That goes on the bottom, doesn't it? Yeah, that goes like that. So that goes on the bottom, that goes there, and that goes there. So now, I can cut this bit. I cut this bit at an angle at the bottom here. So I've got to measure, I've got to have it, that'll stick up though, won't it? So I probably just want to make it a little bit longer, and then I can cut it at an angle. How do I work out what that angle is? Not 45, is it? Definitely not 45. How do I work that angle out? Oh, maybe that's the angle. It is, isn't it? Yeah, I've got the angle there. So, I'm going to cut that a little bit long and then straighten it back to there.
Okay, just one more check before I put the boxes together. Promise.
Oh, I've got to chop it all the way up, haven't I? It's miles off, isn't it? Why do I think that would fit? Wrong bit. Did you know that?
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so hard to put together. Under there. That there. Right, that's pretty good. It's not going to fit in, is it? No. I suppose all I need to check is that that board will fit into the back. Oh, there's loads of room there now. Right, so let's stick it together. Right, I've got all the bits. I just need to put it together now. I'm going to use a brad nail gun. Problem is, when you do it, brad nails into this don't work, so I'm just going to put them at an angle so they catch the wood a little bit. Hopefully that'll work. And then I'm going to glue it as well. So, here goes. Clamp. Basically what you'll see is me doing it in a few seconds. So snug. Might be a bit tight. It's tight, but I think it'll fit. I think what I'll do is maybe just cut that off at an angle, because it's because this is sticking out. I mean, I've done it too tight, haven't I? It's quite good though, isn't it?
Very good. That would fit.
I do not condone doing this on your table saw.
All in there I can put insulation. Underneath here I'll put insulation. Underneath here I think I'm going to have a drawer. Not room for a drawer under there. I mean, I probably should have made it the same height. Would have been a good idea. But what I'll do is I'll make the thing that goes across the same height so that the doors on the outside look the same. But I should have made that probably the same height. So I'm gonna have one there. I need one exactly the same above it, don't I? So I've got like, I know, because actually this is just gonna open as, no, it can't open as one that really. It could open as one and that could just be a shelf, a top shelf. So when you open this to put the tripods in, there's also space. I just want to put another cupboard just above this and have quite a high sort of door to open it and get into both of them. So I'm going to do that now. It's just a small one that goes in there, and I'll make sure that the resultant door is the same height on this and that. Should look good. I'm going to do this quicker than I did the last one. Famous last words.
So I got the second part of the shelf done, which was considerably smoother than the first, which led me on to completing the rest of the bulkhead.
So the plan today is to finish off the other side of this, get it covered with some cloth, which I'm going to speak to you about, put some insulation in, put it in the van, and then fit the cupboard bits into that. So it should be finished, the bulkhead. It's hard work on my own. Right, should work. Perfect fit. Right, so just need to get this bit, put these bits in here now. So that should go nicely in there now. And then that bit should fit. I'm going to get that in there. And that bit is going to go in there, hopefully. So this should go nicely in there. Yeah, that's good. Right, so I think that's going to fit. I probably need a bit down there as well, but I think I'll just fill that with insulation because it doesn't really matter. There's going to be insulation in here, through there. I mean, from the inside, you can't really see. Probably need something down there, actually. Just one bit down there. Okay, so this is the stretch sort of fabric that I'm going to use, carpet as they call it. It's reasonably thick. It'll also be a bit more insulation, I think, this as well. So I've got to stick this onto this frame below, but first I've got to put some on this. So that bottom corner there, I'm going to cut out, stick on the door. Should be easier. When I've got used to doing it, I can then do it on the main thing. I'm going to do it inside as well because it's way too hot out here. So this is the door. I'm going to have my picture over here. So I don't really want this to come all the way onto the top because I want to stick my picture onto the wood. So I'm just going to cut it so it comes up the side like that. Also at the bottom it can't come up very far because there's not a lot of room. On the top I'm just going to use these clamps and clamp it down. But the adhesive should stick it. And then on this side and this side I'm going to use a strip just to keep it in position as well. And this side you'll see when you open the door. So I'll have a little oak strip that the picture will just sit across onto. That's the plan anyway. Right, so I'm just going to cut it. Jesus Christ. Got wood everywhere. I'm just going to cut it with a straight edge like this. I'm going to cut it a little bit too big. Make sure I've got enough there. I think I have. So at the moment, I'm just going to cut it. Why is this so scary? It's just cloth. There we go. Clean cut. Right, and now I'm going to cut this edge. Right, it should be fairly easy, this, I think. So I just need to, it's contact adhesive, so I need to put spray on that surface and spray on this surface. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down first, then I'm going to roll it up the other way and go that way. That's the plan. All right, let's give it a go. It's like silly string. That just seems really weird. Doesn't seem right. Sure it is. Yeah, that's stuck pretty well. I probably put way too much on. So if anybody's watching, tell me whether I put too much on. Quite impressed that I haven't actually got any on there. Don't say that, Nigel. Now maybe I should have stretched it more, I don't know. So this edge is basically now, so now I've got to chop.
I finished off the edges of the door frame and got to work on the main bulkhead, which needed lining in the same material. And luckily I had Anne on hand to help out.
Right, I've got it in. I just need to sort of push it into place. Hopefully it'll fit. What we should do though is look through here and just see. I think that angle looks pretty good there. And that's going to push into place here as well. So when that's pushed into place, that looks good. So now what I need to do is put the insulation in and then make the face frames that are going to be painted. That's the next job. Right, I have just got back from Iceland and I've got to get this bulkhead finished now. I've had 10 days off, got stuck in Iceland for 2 days. So I am going to, I've just cut some boards here that I'm going to put on there. I've got to put the insulation in, sort the wiring out, cut the holes out for the cupboards, and get this finished today. Oh, also I put that laminate oak flooring in. So I'll show that first and then we'll get onto the bulkhead. Just marked out the holes on here, and I want to get a really good finish to this because you're going to see this edge and this opening. So there's a few ways I can do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out with my jigsaw with just a straight edge, which will give a good finish, I think, but I'm going to then clean that up with the router. So I'm just going to go around with the router just to clean it up, which will give a way better finish. The plan here is I've got this accelerator glue that I'm going to use with tape. It's a good trick, this. So basically what I'm going to do is I just put some tape down on here like this, and then I put tape on this side of this like this. So just got to see which is the flat side. So it's going to be that side there. So this is then going to stick to that in line with my line. So what I need to do is basically get some of this glue, just put it on here like this, and I'm not getting it on the wood, so this comes up really easily. It's a really great trick. So you basically just spray the accelerator on this, like that, just let it cure for a second. And once you put this down on here, it is stuck for good. So you just need to make sure it's lined up with the line, because I'm going to use a trim router bit basically. So that is now stuck. So I'm going to just do all the sides now. So I now have this trim router bit, so it basically will trim to the top surface. And I just need to sort of follow the path around. I'm going to get little curves in the corner, but I think that might look quite good. So here goes nothing. Now the tricky thing with this is I really should have something in the middle to stop me doing that. I might do that, in fact. Right, I've just created this platform in the middle, fairly well stuck. I'm quite nervous. Can't even see the drill. There we go. Right, switch it on. Right, now the big question, does it fit? Yes, that looks brilliant. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Nope, that's not perfect. What the hell? Okay, I did it too small. What? What? Oh, it'll have to stay like that. I just need to sort of explain this a little bit. So I've got this in here. So it's just this little bit of plywood in here that's going to bend round, and I'm going to wedge it in place with these. And then my wood's going to come across, and then going to route down that to have a really nice corner, which is all going to be painted. This gap here is because when the door closes, I need a way of opening the door again to get my hand in. And what I'm going to do is, this is just a test print, but there's going to be this sort of plastic that goes over this, just because I think it'll look better and more professional and finished if I have a bit of plastic that goes over it to put my hand through, rather than trying to make this out of wood. So that's the plan. Just get all these on, put the wood on, done it. I've cut that edge, which is the far edge. I've cut the hole out with the router, which is looking good. This is going to be trimmed as well with oak. We're getting close to be able to put the photo in, which is going to be so cool. So now I just need to cut this out. So I'm just going to put some lines on that I need to cut through here. I mean, these don't have to be too accurate because I'm going to cover this up with a handle or a sort of plastic cover. So I need to cut about, just leave about 3 or 4 millimeters shy of that line so I can route it really tight afterwards. And then when I get to here, I can cut quite tight to this line, I think. First thing of all, I'm just going to put some tape underneath to stop it splintering out. Top tip this, because otherwise there's a chance that I might get some splinter on the face surface, which I don't want. Right, so I can start at this end. Should be okay, I think.
Right, I'm just getting my print ordered for the door. Let me tell you a little bit about my thoughts on this. So this is a print that I had done from white wall, which is actually aluminium. So it's really, really thin. But I thought about doing this at first because it looks pretty good, but then I thought it'd be better to have acrylic on top of it. So a little bit thicker, and I think it'll look a little bit better as well. And then I need to remove this frame at the back. Now, I spoke to White Wall. I've worked with White Wall in the past. They agreed to sponsor the video, which is really good because I've been able to chat to them about this, and I've realized with their software, you can actually remove the frame at the back, you know, the hanging hardware at the back. So let me show you the image that I've chosen. So this is the image. Obviously, this isn't the right aspect ratio. I've worked out that the aspect ratio is 5:9. So basically what I need to do is I need to crop this image, and I'll talk a little bit more about this image in a second. 5:9, which looks really tall. So it's going to be like that, basically. And this is a 45 megapixel image, which will be perfectly fine for this. I don't need to worry too much about the resolution of it. It'll look absolutely fantastic on this wall, even if I crop it that much. So I'm going to crop it around about there, I think, and then I think that'll be good. The reason I've chosen this image is this is a location in the Langdales and the Lake District that I've been probably over 100 times, I'd say. I grew up in the Lake District, means a lot to me. I think a road in it looks pretty good as well, because I looked through down the road, down the windy road. I actually took this one when I was with Master and James as well. So, you know, it's just got a lot of meaning to me, this image. So I'm going to crop that. And I've actually done that and uploaded it. So let's go to White Wall now. And in White Wall, you can choose different types of prints. So you can have metallic, you can have acrylic, you can have framed prints, etc. I've shown them before. But here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create it on Ultra HD photo print. So that's like a little bit high resolution under acrylic grass. So I'm going to click create, choose that image, go to the configurator. And now what I can do is I can go in and set my exact dimensions of the piece. Make sure, now this is really where I've got to measure twice, isn't it? Set those exact dimensions. The image optimization I'm not too bothered about because I've already edited it. So I usually put on, when I've uploaded things, it's worked well in the past, I've just put on about 20% of image optimization, frame and profile without frame, acrylic glass. So you can have a look at this. I don't want 4mm, I think 2mm easily thick enough. Hanging hardware, no hanging elements, so that's really useful. And I can just glue it on. And don't need to worry about the other things. So I should be able to just get the right size. I'll put that in a minute, apply that, and we should be able to jump back to me revealing it, hopefully, in this bulkhead. Fingers crossed. Anyway, if you're looking to do a print or anything like that, I'll put a link to Whitewall in the description below with a discount as well. So check them out. Right, it all fits okay. This looks okay. There's obviously got to be a plastic insert to go on there. I've got to sort of fit it all together, put all the insulation in, but everything fits now. The best thing is I've just checked that the acrylic photo works. It's behind here. I'm going to leave this video because there's just been so much to do on this with the final reveal of the photo. And that works so well. Okay, I've got to put a trim on it. That looks ace. Thanks ever so much for watching. Until next campervan video, bye.